Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to FlexiJ Anime and to another reaction video to Lord of the Mysteries. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have some things to talk about. You know me, of course I do. Before we dive in to this new episode, thank you guys so much for all the incredible comments in my last several videos. I do look at them, and I also just want to say how excited I get when I see that people, new viewers, just like me, when you share your theories and stuff with me. I appreciate that so much. I just want you guys to know though that I'm trying to actively make sure that I don't read through anyone's theories or deep dives into what they think might be happening, because I don't want it to affect what I think, because I might end up agreeing with you and then maybe using that and maybe now following that trail of thought. I'm just going to try to stick with what I'm doing, my trail of thought, and I don't want to be influenced by anyone else's theories, but I just want to say that I appreciate you guys sharing that openly with the community, and I'm sure that other commenters, other people in the community really appreciate you sharing your theories, because I see so many people doing that. So I love this community and thank you for being here. I'm going to quickly touch on a few things. Firstly, I want to talk about the Aurora Order and the Secret Order, because I think I was getting it mixed up in the last episode. I think it would have helped in the last episode if there were timestamps, just a little more timestamps. I appreciate at the end of the episode, during that whole ritual, they said 1 month prior. I would have appreciated the same sort of thing, how they started the episode, because that was an incredibly confusing thing. And then I feel like the whole episode, I was trying to figure out who was a part of the Secret Order and who was a part of the Aurora Order, and it just got a bit jumbled. So I needed to sit down and organize that just a little bit. I've been, I started using a highlighter. I was like, I can't read this, so I have Aurora Order in pink, Secret Order in green. Completely random. Secret Order, we learned, I think it's pretty old, right? It goes back to the 4th epic. The leader, Zaratul. I have not attempted to say that name yet. He was the Secret Order leader. He was the original leader. It's one of the oldest. It goes back to the 4th epic, and we learned that the leader of the Secret Order was trying to ask the Emperor to find the Antigonus family relic. So he really wanted him to do that. We learned through Klein that the Emperor wished that he chose the seer pathway, and there were also 2 other pathways that were mentioned during that moment, apprentice and marauder. So those are important. That's important to keep in mind. It makes me wonder if the Emperor was in any way a part of the Secret Order. He seems pretty close to the leader, so it makes me wonder if he was here, if he was around when the Secret Order was formed. And I believe the Secret Order is connected to this seer pathway. Klein was saying that he thinks that he could potentially get the clown potion from the Secret Order, right? Okay. Maybe the Secret Order has something to do with the Antigonus family. I'm not sure. There's not a lot known about the Secret Order, but there's a lot known about the Aurora Order. It's also roughly 200 to 300 years old, so it is considered newer. So it is the newer secret organization. I think there was one moment where there was a conversation going on about secret orders, plural. And I might have taken that as a mistake, thinking that they were talking about the Secret Order. But there is the Secret Order, and then the Aurora Order, which is a secret evil order, right? Yeah. Okay. So the Aurora Order apparently is full of madmen. They have the suppliant pathway. And we saw at the end of the last episode, we learned about Sequence 8 listener. Actually, there was a really great comment that I saw about the Sequence 8 listener of the secret suppliant pathway, and that Beyonders in that sequence, they're forced to listen to their deities, to their gods, to their whispers in their ears, and it's sort of like a gamble. You can go mad. Like it could drive you insane, and maybe that is why they are known to have madmen among them, because they're hearing things from their god, and that could potentially make you do crazy things. The true creator, by the way. The Aurora Order is obsessed with the true creator. Vincent was a part of the Aurora Order, who, by the way, we saw proof of handing the Antigonus Notebook to Welch. So I had to go back, but in episode 4, he was talking about how he sold it to the lambs, and there was this scene, and I was like, oh my god, it's the table. Wait, who's at the table? I see 3 people. So it was Naya, Welch, and Klein. So we kind of saw visual proof. And of course, present Klein, he wouldn't know that because that was past. That was before he transmigrated. So he saw Welch being sold a notebook from Vincent from the Aurora Order, right? And this is another thing that I forgot, and I'm so glad. It's just, I feel like with all of this knowledge, I really have been enjoying sitting down for a couple hours before I do all this to remember things that could have slipped through the cracks through all of this chaos and me trying to learn about this universe. But it was mentioned that Vincent couldn't see or read anything from the Antigonus family notebook. And I didn't give that a second thought. There was so much going on. That was episode 4. I was like, whoa. So that implies that depending on who looks at it, you could see something different. I believe that is one of the reasons why Vincent sold it, so that perhaps he could then keep tabs on them, these historians, Vincent, Naya, and Welch. They were historic students, right? They all looked at it together, and they saw something that Vincent did not see. And we got at the end of the last episode also Klein sort of realizing, or at least thinking, that it seems like the Antigonus Notebook does not want certain people to know things or knowledge to get out. How? How would the notebook be so powerful and aware? Like, let's say that those 3 saw something that they weren't supposed to see, and then maybe the notebook made them kill themselves and also make their souls unable to be divine. Like they can't be found. And so that also means that you can't see what they saw. So, oh my god, the secrets. This is sneaky. What is going on? Also with the Aurora Order, guys, there's 22 oracles, and they're all alphabetical. Sirius was writing to Z in the last episode. That was the letter that we were reading. And there's also 22 pathways. And then, I haven't talked about tarot cards in a while, and neither has the show really in a few episodes, but there's 22 tarot cards. And the Emperor is said to have created the tarot cards. And he was involved with the leader of the secret order. It goes all the way back to the 4th epic. So did they create, and I haven't asked this yet, but it's like, where does all of this power come from? This whole system with the Beyonders, the tarot cards, they were made to mean one thing originally and then shifted, right? I have not looked into all of the pathways. I don't know the names of all of them. I'm not sure, but maybe depending on tarot cards and pathways, maybe they all have something to do with each other. But I don't know how the 22 oracles would come into play. I have no idea about that. That's with the Aurora Order, though. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they thought it would be cheeky. Oh yeah, all of our higher-ups, they're all gonna be oracles. We're gonna have 22 of them, just like the pathways. I really don't know. We also met Lavinus, the guy with the glasses. Sequence 8 swindler, right? Was he a marauder? I think he might have been. Well, his wife was on the table, pregnant during that ritual. And yeah, the Aurora Order is scary. So yeah, I hope that helps some of you. It helped me to just kind of sit down and reorganize my thoughts and make sure that I know who is on whose team with all these secret orders, all these evil secret orders that aren't connected to churches, right? Also, thank you in the comments for clarifying that pretty big subtitle error, the translation, when we were talking about the Evernight Goddess destroying the Antigonus family. I think it accidentally said that it destroyed the fourth epic. I contemplated that in the video. I was like, oh, wow, okay, she destroyed it. Well, all right, I focused more on the fact that she destroyed the Antigonus family. So I immediately learned right when I stopped recording from my Discord and then also from my editor, he messaged me that there was a massive error, but thankfully I wasn't too caught up and confused about that. I also really appreciate you guys in the comments for bringing that up in case anyone else in the community was confused and was not aware. So you guys are awesome. Okay, before we get into the symbols, there's a few other things I have to mention that I have noticed, and I want to touch on them just so you know that I'm aware and I'm thinking about it. We haven't mentioned this in a little bit, but I find it very interesting still that when Klein had the three-lined honorific name, how they prayed to him, basically, Justice and the Hanged Man, and his connection with the Grey Fog and everything that happened in episode 4 with the mirror, all of that with the Aurora Order, and he got those 4 dots on his hand. Still not really sure what that means, but I just clocked that, okay, he has 4 dots. Now that we know more about Azek, he has 1 dot. And I'm wondering if we're going to come across anyone who has 2 dots or 3, and what does it mean? Is Azek more evolved? Is it because of his sequence that he's unaware of? Is it because he's older that he only has 1? I'm curious about that. Feathers, fate, coincidences. Someone is behind the scenes. Was the kidnapping of Elliot on purpose? Who would have orchestrated that? Why was Klein being led to the family notebook? And what he divined at the very end of the episode after he fully digested his potion, which, congratulations, Klein. He saw red smokestacks, and then he was being blocked from seeing anything else. But he saw that, and then we went to the ritual that happened a month earlier. I think right now my theory is that the Aurora Order, Lanivus, which by the way, I saw in the comments that they translated his name wrong. Was it Lavinus in the subtitles, but is it Lanevas? Why did they switch the V in the N? That is so confusing. Okay, anyways, it's so helpful having this community. I love it. It just makes this whole experience more enjoyable. But okay, so I think that ritual, well, that seance, like, I don't even know what that was. I think I know what that was. I think they are summoning and trying to bring back the true creator. And I think that she is going to give birth to the fucking reincarnation, the second coming of the true creator. I think they want to bring a new age of the true creator in the flesh. And yes, we did see Lanevis. We did see him walk away. So he didn't partake in the ritual. He is still alive, but everyone else sacrificed themselves. Why did they need to use Azek's son's skull in that ritual? Who on earth locked his son in that coffin? There was those scratch marks. Was it the Aurora Order? Did they do something to him, wait for him to die, and then come back and get his skull for this ritual? Why would that be necessary? Is it because of his bloodline? Is it like, why? They must know who that was. They wouldn't have just found any random skull. It feels specific to me. So maybe they were also the ones that sealed him up. They're roughly 200 years old, so they're pretty new. I don't know if that would line up time-wise or if he was in there longer. He could have been. And maybe it was just someone else, a different order, something else that happened. But I have a lot of questions around that. But anyways, I didn't talk about this at the end because I was pretty overwhelmed. And this is why I love doing it at the beginning of the next episode, because I'm fresh, guys. I've had a week. So they were chanting a 3 lines honorific name. And I think that what they were saying was the honorific name of the true creator. So I wrote it down. It's concerning. The Lord who created everything, the Lord who reigns behind the curtains of shadows. He reigns in the dark, behind the curtains, in the shadows. It makes me feel like he is ruling and he's controlling and ever present, but he's hidden away. He reigns behind the curtain of shadows. And the 3rd line is the degenerate nature of all living things. The degenerate nature. So he is the degenerate nature of all living things. And also apparently the Lord who created everything. So he is the creator of everything and also symbolizes the degenerate nature of all living things. So he's all of the evil, negative, nasty, dark shit of all living things, who is reigning in the dark behind the curtains in the shadows. Like, I don't know, it sounds very manipulative and maniacal and yeah, pretty bad. And I think they're trying to bring him back. I think that will be doomsday. Why did they need that skull specifically? I don't know. But I also think that they probably potentially did that ritual in one of those red smokestacks. And Klein was looking for, like, who is behind all of this? And then where do we go? We go to that ritual and we see that man, Lanavus, smirking and walking away as his wife is a part of this insane ritual. And yeah, they're working on like bringing back their god, the true creator. That's my guess. That's what I feel like is happening. So this is what I'm struggling with all of the feathers. I think I saw a comment that was like, there is like a featherless god walking around somewhere like naked because he's dropping his feathers everywhere. I thought that was so funny. It made me think of like a naked chicken, like a plucked chicken or a bird. I don't know if that is the hanged man, the hanged giant, the true creator. I don't know, but it does make me think about the feathers. It does make me think about his honorific name and the Lord who reigns behind the curtains of shadows. And I don't know, like, what the fuck with everything with coincidences. I'm gonna have to try not to spiral too hard, you guys, and read too deeply into everything, or I'm gonna start being so sus. And I'm already questioning everything. Like how in the beginning of the last episode, Neil did not seem very happy about that engagement. He mentioned something like a 100-year blood curse. I don't know if that has anything to do with Isaac or if it's just pure coincidence. He seemed saddened by the mention of an engagement. I just assumed like, oh, well, he's old. He's probably experienced loss. Maybe he had someone in the past that he lost. That was sort of my thought in the moment. And I wasn't sure if the curse was a joke, but maybe not. Maybe that means something. Was it 100 years or 1,000? It was a 1,000-year blood curse. I think I just said 100. But someone is controlling everything. Is it so much so that someone even controlled Klein's transmigration to come here? Is this whole story somehow going to end in some sort of massive full circle where Klein ends up being the one that controlled everything from the beginning? That would be fucking crazy. Is it one of those? Or is there some higher power using Klein? Or is he the power that's using himself from the past or from the future? If he's a seer, dude, I don't know. It makes me think about the Antigonus family, how they were seers and how they could have divined their demise and hid the relic in a very specific place. It makes me think about the Notebook and how it's like everyone who looks at it sees something different and they're trying to hide something that's in there. I don't know, guys. I'm starting to spiral. So let me just rein it back in and we're going to talk about the symbols really fast. So I just wanted to go back to episode 4 because it was kind of driving me crazy. At the end of the last episode, when he got that symbol, I didn't recognize it and I was reminded of this scene. So I wanted to just go back and look at it. And it doesn't show the full thing. It's a full circle up here. But so is this the seer pathway symbol? He said it was unfinished. And how would he know that? Like, that could be the symbol. But so he looked at it and he was like, it shows a pupilless eye representing concealment, which makes me think of the fucking true creator, guys. It could also symbolize something revolving around the seer pathway. It's like whenever I see an eye or think of an eye, I think of the true creator, the hanged giant and his massive eye. So it shows a pupilless eye. Concealment didn't I just say he reigns from behind curtains of shadows? Concealment. And then contorted lines representing change. So that's fascinating. So that's what he thought. That's what he deduced from seeing that. But then he also said that is incomplete. He said both are incomplete. I wrote that down. And then I walked around my house and I was like, does he think it's not complete? Like, maybe it's not complete because he's only sequence 9? Does it continue to change the more advanced you get? The different sequences? Like, if you're sequence 5 seer, is it going to look completely different? But then this one does look different. The eye is in a different place. For the seer one, the swirls were going down. I feel like... So this is what he was shown. Unless those are supposed to be the swirls and the eye has changed the position. But he said the symbol showed a vertical pupil full of concealed symbols. So I don't know if they have anything to do with one another. Maybe not. Or this could be like the final evolution of the seer pathway symbol. I don't know. If the Antigonus family is so closely connected to the seer pathway, I feel like this symbol has something to do with the seer pathway, which is what Klein chose, but that's not what is shown above his head. He said it was incomplete. That's why it makes me feel like the symbols could change unless... I'm looking at a symbol right now that does not mean seer. But then what the fuck does it mean? Because he's a seer. See, I don't know, guys. But I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to point out the small similarities. They both have an eye, a concealed eye. They both have mystical symbols. And in this one, he says contorted lines which represent change. Ooh, so maybe over time, the lines shift into the symbols that we see in that drawing that he was given. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe when he gets the clown potion, it'll change again. I wonder. He needs to convince the Secret Order to give it to him, though. But those are my thoughts heading into this episode. And yeah, there's a lot to think about. Constantly so much to think about, so much to dive into. And I'm honestly probably forgetting to talk about some stuff. There was a really amazing comment that summarized all of the coincidences, and it kind of gave me anxiety and I had to stop reading it because it freaks me out. I mean, I can show it to you guys. The leader of the Secret Order tells the Emperor seer pathway is the best. He writes that in his diary in Mandarin. Secret Order loses the Antigonus Notebook. Aurora Order finds it, gives it to Klein, Welch, and Naya, resulting in them killing themselves. Number 3, transmigration. Like almost like he was brought here intentionally, right? Then Klein joins the Nighthawks. He just happens to join the Nighthawks of all of the churches. And by proxy, the Church of the Evernight Goddess who destroyed the Antigonus Notebook. Then Klein happens to read the exact pages of the Emperor's diary, which recommends seer pathway just before he takes his potion. That's crazy timing. What a coincidence. He could read them because he transmigrated from China. How convenient. Elliot's kidnapping leads Klein to find the Antigonus Notebook. And then, yeah, Justice just happens to chant the honorific name just in time to save Klein. Elizabeth happens to be the one that gets the nightmare after visiting the castle and informs Klein about it, which leads them to the castle, which leads them to that whole investigation and leads him to also connecting the dots with Isaac, and then all of that happening. Klein's professor just happens to be a high sequence immortal whose sun's skull somehow is involved in the Aurora Order's plans. Klein happens to run into Sirius and get the clown potion recipe from him. Yeah, I appreciate that, you know, this commenter is saying like everything means something. In most shows, something will just happen for fun, or it's, you know, oh, it's just happenstance. But truly in Lord of the Mysteries, it feels like everything is happening incredibly intentionally. And it's almost as if whenever the feather drops, it's almost like a change of fate, or like someone is turning the wheel or controlling the situation. And I can't tell whether that is a god, whether it be a good one or a bad one, what justifies that. If it is Klein himself from the future, which would be fucking crazy. If it's something to do with the Antigonus family, maybe they wanted him to find the notebook, but then it's like, how would they even know about him? The fact that the Emperor is also a potential transmigrator. The coincidence is that they both know Mandarin. It's insane. And this is why it kind of brings me a bit of an anxiety, makes me spiral slightly. But yeah. It's good to keep an open mind and open eyes while digesting this and watching this Doha. So I'm looking forward to this episode. That's all. I hope you enjoyed that. Can't wait to read your comments down below. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next. We have such a good chunk of episodes left still with season 1, and we just got verification that season 2 is greenlit, I think for 22, wait, was it 20 or 22 episodes? Don't tell me it's 22 episodes. That is not a coincidence. 22 pathways, 22 tarot cards, 22 oracles. Is it 22 episodes? I'm looking that up right now. That's what? More than 20 episodes. Okay. My Google search is telling me that season 2 is confirmed it will have more than 20 episodes. Holy shit, if it has 22 episodes. I kind of really wanted to have 22 episodes now. Okay, guys, with all that said and done, let's dive in. Let's see what happens today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a little concerned about this title. It's called Losing Control. Shit, it's episode 8 of Lord of the Mysteries. Let's go. Okay.
灰雾的力量都不能突破干扰，幕后之人很强。
Yeah.
消除，我还必须考虑更。阿兹克先生，
Oh,
你最近很忙吗？看起来一脸疲惫，
cute.
最近一直在追查幕后黑手的下落，
也没再露出破绽。放松一点，不要过于执着。也许
They haven't shown cracks since they noticed my gaze. Is that Isaac speaking? So whoever's behind all of this noticed that Isaac is like aware and watching,
放松一点，不要过于。
which means they would know about who and what Isaac is.
阿兹克先生，有件事，我想恳请您
Ooh,
帮我一个忙。
the way the music changed. Okay. Hell yeah, I love when we come back here. Let's go.
这又是什么？
An unnamed island.
非常抱歉，愚者先生，这一周我没能找到新的罗塞尔日记。我希望能获得一些隐秘组织的信息。
Hidden organizations? Really? That sounds kind of dangerous to look into.
你眼前无所不知的愚者， 实际段位只有7。
Funny. Yeah, because he's acting. You see him sweating there. It's like, don't look at me. The all-knowing Mr. Fool in front of you is only bronze tier. Right, because he's only sequence 9 at the moment. Is that what he's referring to?
是大多行踪诡谲，隐匿于暗处。我也仅知道冰山一角，更多的只能找人帮你打探。这很麻烦，且无比的1000磅，不能连好的救场。
我去，1000磅，
Oh my gosh.
相当于一套停根独栋豪宅，就换个冰山一角，太贵了吧？
She probably has the money.
小姐虽然是贵族，
没问题。
I knew it.
还是送到之前那个地址吗？
Wow.
没错，还是同样。
Is he bluffing or is he just shocked?
收货人。
这么好，
Yeah, she is loaded.
说给就给啊！
I mean, we saw where she lives.
周明瑞，
秘组织
100 secret organizations.
第4季就已经诞生的古老组织，有密修会、魔女教派和摩斯苦修会。
Wait, yes, there's also the demoness
古老组
sect.
织
Ancient organizations from the 4th epic include the Secret Order, which I already wrote down and discussed today. But yes, we also have the demoness sect. To find my pen.
已经诞生的古老组织，有密修会、魔女教派和摩斯苦修会等。
Okay, wait, yeah. The Moses? We haven't heard of that one before, have we? I don't think so. Is that the Secret Order symbol? God, it also looks kind of similar to... Anyways, oh my gosh. Earliest recognized of these.
最早的是摩斯苦修会，
Ah, it's the
他们掌握
oldest.
的途径，序列性叫做
Mystic
窥秘人。
老尼尔的血列图，
信仰知识本身。
They worship knowledge itself, call their god the hidden
早期的
sage.
摩斯苦修会非常受人尊敬。
You know I'm pausing and writing everything down.
崇拜知识并不邪恶呀。
但如果知识本身活了，传言隐匿贤者活了。
What if knowledge itself came to life? It makes me think of the Antigonus family notebook. What the fuck? Bro, this is why he wanted money for this information. So if knowledge can come to life, worship... What?
传言隐匿贤者活了。
Damn. The hidden sage came to life? Well, like, that's the god that they worshipped.
变成了人格化的邪神。
Of an evil... What?
本纪元初期才诞生的组织有玫瑰学派和崇尚死神的灵教团等，他们都发源于南大陆。
Oh my god, this is so much information. He became the personification of evil, of an evil god. With knowledge comes power, you guys. Wow. Rose School of Thought. He knows a lot, guys. How does he know this much? That worships death? What? Okay.
死神的灵教团等，他们都发源于南大陆。
Born from the southern continent.
而极光会、药心理炼金会等，则是近200-300。
They only appeared the last 200 to 300 years. Yeah. This is so, what a coincidence that I was like, all right, guys, let me just talk about the orders really fast. Now he's also giving a lecture. What is this? What is going on?
愚者先生，我没有其他的疑问了。
Oh, really? Okay.
今天就到这里了。
遵从您的意志。
That's all? She has no questions. Like, okay, thank you for the information. Thank you for that lecture, hanged man.
灵教团，克先生有关。
Oh.
拜托阿兹克先生的事，都好几天也没点动静。
针对黑夜女神行动的驱逐，还是另有真相。
你好，
Throw me one of those.
先生，您说什么？
小心！安森，梅丽莎。
哦，
这个其实，我现在也兼职了警察部门的历史顾问，枪是配发物品。
莱恩是有什么喜事吗？看起来很高兴的样子。
针对黑夜女神信徒，应该是阿兹克先生动手了。
哎，你急什么？
Huh. Worshippers of the Evernight Goddess were targeted. Why would he think that that means that Azek has begun?
针对黑夜女神信徒，应该是阿兹克先生动手。
Must have begun taking action? But why against the Evernight Goddess?
200年都不来。
尼尔先生和
That one guy. Sailor pathway, right? Okay. Folk of Rage.
是他。
都说了我还有任务，莱特，再加一杯。
知道，他买单。
干杯！
干杯！
Cute.
真邪门了，闹个鬼还挑信仰，只针对黑夜女神信徒。码头又是代法者辖区，现在传什么的都有，我必须来和邓恩碰一碰。不，代法者也不好深入调查。列党旗，满上。那些灵体非常诡异，很难驱除。从形态上看很古老，像是第4纪的亡灵。
Oh, they're very ancient, like they were the dead from the 4th epic. Oh my, okay. That's very specific, sir.
接下来该我上场了，来，我敬2位一杯。
Wait, so I know that Klein asked Isaac to do something for him. Is this what he wanted him to do? Because it cut away. He gripped his fist and was like he hid that, almost like it was something he was nervous to ask him about. And then we don't know what it is. So I'm assuming this is somehow Klein's plan. And this is what he's asking him to do. I'm wondering why.
考虑考虑，加入我们代法者怎么样？
行了，赶紧走吧你。
女儿，你今天欠我2杯酒钱，下次得加倍还。
你个酒鬼吧！
抱歉打扰了，
Oh,
老尼尔，队长找。
fancy seeing you here.
码头灵异事件很。
队长，让我去吧。突发事件，灵体诡异，我想占卜应该能帮上忙。
哎呦，我这老腰啊！
Why doesn't he want to go?
最近出了新规，双倍任务补贴。
Oh,
哎，我觉得克莱恩的话还是有我会帮助他准确运用
Okay.
追查。
队长，听说那些灵体很难对付，有没有什么好办法可以快速驱除？
这方面只有30782最合适。人员密集，使用风险太大。如果现场有普通人，只要1小时就会变成。
是有
is that what he's after?
我们还是得预防最坏的情况。
That's what he,
那些诡异
yep.
的亡灵里万一有个强烈。
Okay. He's trying to get access to that item again because I think he has a plan. He's trying to figure out another way to go about this other than just seeking the potion ingredients, correct? So he was like, oh, I should do something about that knowledge that I gained from that incident. So he is asking Isaac to cause some trouble, target the Nighthawks specifically so that they have to jump into action. And now he's trying to get them to bring the item back out. I love it. He's like, they'll be sun-praising idiots within an hour. It's funny. Yeah, sun sacred emblem.
职业者的名声恐怕不好收场啊。
The look.
能在同一个地方停留1小时以上。
Okay, good job.
明白，队长。
Good job. You convinced him. What is it today? Oh my goodness. Secret organizations. Ugh, what a coincidence. Ancient organizations were born during the 4th epic. Okay, so that's as far back as it goes. There's nothing from the 3rd, I guess. The earliest recognized organizations being... Okay, so this is what we just learned from the Hanged Man. I want to say Moses. Moses? The Moses Order, Demon Sect, Secret Order, Blood, Sanctified Sect, and so on. Did I write down the Blood? Wait, there's a new one in there. And so on. Yeah, right. There's like 100. Secret organizations born in the 5th are more or less connected to the frightening families and forces of the 4th. Huh. So families from the 4th would have created organizations that existed in the 5th. Did I read that correctly? That happened pretty early in the episode. We're like 12 minutes in. Is he
你想方设法和我
chuckling?
一起出任务是故意的吧？
Oh.
啊？
Oh,
但
he's
我
gonna
这
make it
样
about
放肆
himself.
不实际的 你也不可能发现。
Discover my secret. Okay.
稀罕你的秘密啊，同学。不要这么自恋好不好？
Klein, yeah, Klein is like, that is literally the last thing on my mind.
那种漂亮男人，
Klein's massive hat.
老爷和贵妇们怀里看到过。
What is with his smile? Okay.
能行？中间那俩毛都没长全呢。哎，这我老尼尔嘛，听说有点东西啊。这里人太多，长官们的能力是否不方便发挥啊？
What is he looking at? He's talking to his neck. Okay.
为了这次驱魔，我们专门备了圣水、圣灰和大蒜。
哎，我看报纸介绍过，这些都是驱魔仪式必备。哇，居然还真是专业的。
和长官秒变神棍骗子。
罗塞尔大帝说过，形势必须大于内容。
Fake gurus. Wait, that is cute. Oh. Bro, what?
盖特警长，快调集人手！
Did a dog spirit just go into him? Oh. Oh, he's doing ballet.
阿斯克先生这一出闹鬼，
Well, so it's not like Isaac wants to hurt any of them.
大哥，演戏演全套，不要暴露我。啊，大家当心！这些不是普通亡灵，控制住被附身的人。
Ooh. Okay, what is he gonna do now that it's activated, though?
我们的驱魔师将正式开启仪式，
Okay.
净化邪灵。为什么是我？新人福利。
Deocanis welcome
Is this all like an act?
Deocanis welcome
净化邪灵。
好温暖的感觉啊！是，就像在晒太阳。
真是神奇啊！
赞美女神。
Praise the lady. Oh my god, don't get run over. Wait, what's going on? A girl with blonde hair. Are you pregnant?
富尔安先生，
Mm-hmm.
他刚刚踢我了，谢谢您，先生。你
哦，那就是。我负责跟着这可怜的姑娘，看能不能找到她未婚夫兰尔。
Oh, yeah.
狼儿
非凡，不过没有发现。估计这
I
2天
see.
就会以普通诈骗罪定性结案了。
您和富尔安先生关系很好啊。
都是停更的老家伙们，时间长了啊，就去我家喝酒唱歌。沙里斯特
Interesting.
在旁为大家弹琴伴
Oh.
奏。
沙里斯特，
啊，我妻子。沙里斯特走了有好些年了。
Oh my gosh.
这帮老家伙对我们这些人来说，只要不失控而死，就是神灵的赐福。
Wow.
好了。
Okay, so what I said at the beginning briefly about him and his reaction about an engagement, maybe that's why. I theorized he was, he's old. He probably had a wife. Yeah, he did. And it's just the two of them left from their time. It's sad. I wonder what happened. I also can't help but feel a little suspicious of Neil. I already felt kind of like weary about him just a bit when we first met him. Sure, he has this funny, easygoing old man thing going on. How did he get the mystic prior pathway? That was from like the earliest order, it says. They called their god the hidden sage, and it kind of fell from grace and turned into this whole evil thing. The whole idea about knowledge coming to life. I feel like a whole nother world expansion over there just opened up for me to explore.
这么难清除的灵，被附身的人居然没有受到什么伤害，我还是头一次遇到这种情况。
Was that the Evernight goddesses or something? The Evernight goddess symbol? I don't know. I really don't. But you know what? I have seen in the comments that you guys would be interested in watching me react to the Niels mysticism classes, and I think I might. I think one actually does cover the symbols. Yeah, I think I'll look into it. I just didn't want to start off too soon because I like being completely oblivious and having the show me things or tell me things and, you know, me guessing. But if you guys want those reactions, I'll gladly give them. And yeah, this is episode 8 now, so maybe I can do like batches of 2 episodes for Niels stuff. But I forgot to say that at the beginning of this episode. But I see your guys' comments, and yeah, I'll watch them. I'll watch them for you. I am already watching the chibi stuff over on my second channel, in case you missed that.
码头灵异事件的起因是阿兹克先生位格那么高，
Yeah.
除非他放水，否则我什么都不可能占卜到。
Don't tell me he's gonna see something else other than Azik. Whoa, what?
你看到的应该是南大陆的倒金字塔，无论是东西拜老还是高地王国，只有所谓的死神。
Wait. I was trying to look at it. Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay. At first it looked like it was a pit that went down. No, it is an upside down pyramid.
有所谓的死神后裔，才能为自己修建这样的灵器。
Descendants of Death built it?
那个和原初魔女联手，在北大陆掀起苍白之。
先生是在一片尸堆中苏醒的，难道就是苍白之灾战场？如果阿兹克先生真是，难道就
He awoke. Was that the battlefield of the Pale Disaster? Oh my god, this is really cool. Okay. That being that started the Pale Disaster alongside the primordial demoness? What? This is fascinating because, yeah, Azik is so incredibly old. And the so-called descendants of death built the inverted pyramids in the southern continents. Yeah, and he probably has no recollection of that because he's lived so many different lives.
先生真是死神后裔？
A descendant of death? That is wild. I should be even warier of whoever's behind all this. Oh my god, so wait. If he is a descendant of death, that means something completely different. If they know that Azik is a descendant of death or that his son would also be a descendant of death, right? By blood. Is that why they needed the skull for their ritual?
带着30782镇守，其他人休息恢复，1小时轮换。终于等到这一刻了。
Here we go. He wants to be alone with it.
符咒全纯银已经够烧钱了，这玩意儿更牛。黑夜女神领域的符咒全纯银已经够烧
That's
钱了。
cool. Pure
这玩意儿
silver.
更牛，直接烧黄金。
It's burning gold. I pray to you. Is he praying to the sun god?
祈求你赐予我完成永恒烈阳的血液，请将你的力量传递给我的符咒。
Transfer your powers onto my charm. Whoa. This is pretty cool. Is it gonna work? Oh my god. His shadow again, you guys. What is that? What the hell is going on? What the? What kind of monster's in there? Dude. What? Nice. That looks sick.
千万不能让他再下到塔索克河。你先带30782离开。
全警戒范围50米以上。收到，想办法通知福尔安，没有指令，你们也不要靠近。
This music! Okay. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh. Oh! No. What was that animation with the ship just then? Holy shit. Is this because of what he was trying to do? The sun flickered and left, and then this happened. Or is this just a coincidence? That word is gonna drive me crazy now. Oh, we got impact frames. I like watching him fight. This kind of reminds me of that ship, that nightmare. Oh no. What was that? What the fuck was that? Come on! Yeah, I figured.
这也能行？
You're kidding. You're kidding. Oh my god.
他已经彻底失控，没有回转余地了。
How would he have lost control like that?
尼尔先生，你的手。
That's like the fourth or fifth. All those symbols. They keep showing the symbols. Oh! Oh, come on. Don't make it harder. Boom. This music. I love this song. Oh, he poured his liquor out on him. The candle went out immediately. Oh, I love that the music is speeding up. What is that? Hold on.
码头碰到的时候也好，没有任何异常。
Oh, the music.
这么短的时间，到底是什么原因导致的失控？比我想象的还要可怕的多。
嗯哼。
两枚养颜符咒，有神仙力量加持，无论是笔记的引诱还是幕后黑手，我应该都有一战之力。
Wait, it worked? It worked?
笔记的引诱还是幕后黑手，我应该都有一战之力。但这保命的底牌，没法应对非凡失控。
Can't escape that fate. No way. That is so scary.
怕什么？连神的样貌我都能薅到手，凡事总有办法解决。对自身掌控力越高，非凡能力越强。也许可以找时机，把扮演法透露给队长他们。也是时候。
Find a way to leak. Wait. The acting method to the captain and the others, right? Because the more control you might have, and you know, when he's talked about control over yourself, I was thinking about how much alcohol he was drinking. That I mean, everything about acting that might help you to not lose control. Oh my God, you know what? I forgot that was said, that most Nighthawks end up losing control. When he joined, we went into that huge place and we lit all those candles, and we lit candles and we put the candles there, him and Dunn. And Dunn was explaining to him all of that. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people who lost control. Is that everyone who's died and he has all of their items? But how is Neil still fine? And so, die from losing control. I'm beginning to get confused because I thought that these uncontrollable Beyonders or Berserk Beyonders, I'm not sure if there's a difference, but doesn't that usually happen to people who become Beyonders who aren't connected to a church? But then for the Nighthawks, it's very common. Captain said most Nighthawks die from losing control. Why? Is that with every church, or is it just with the Nighthawks? Is it just specifically with this church and under this god? Yes, it is time to advance. Yes, it is. Yes, please. Oh my gosh. So, Klein's plan worked with the help of Azek. He was able to create this whole sequence of events that led him to gaining not one, but two of these gold charms that he was able to create with the blood of the sun god, which is just so incredible. I wonder what would happen if anyone finds out that he has those. That is a huge thing. He's keeping a lot from the Nighthawks. The list is stacking up. I wonder if that's gonna blow up in his face anytime soon. Hopefully not, but it is beginning to make me worry. That was wild what happened with Neil and his friend, how we got that story too. Of course we would get that story, we would meet and talk and see him again, which felt random. That's why I wanted to make the joke like, okay, I'll watch him die in this episode. He did, unfortunately. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that he was tracking that girl. I wonder if it has to do with the Aurora Order. I wonder if it has to do with how much he was drinking. I wonder if it has to do with how much he wasn't acting enough, like what Klein was thinking about. You know, the more that you know about yourself and your pathway and everything about acting your pathway. I don't know. I don't think that Klein needs to worry about that, losing control in the same way. But then at the same time, we truly don't know what causes it. We're just guessing at this point. But what a terrifying thing. That was very confusing. And he recognized Neil during the fight and then right before death. So that's strange. Right after Klein was done and created those two charms, that happened. So weird. So weird. And yeah, I'm beginning to wonder more about Neil. I feel like it's not a coincidence that, like, let me see. Okay, so Neil is part of the Nighthawks, but I'm wondering long ago, like when he chose his pathway, the Mystic Prior, where does that come from? Was he always with the Nighthawks? Why did he join the Nighthawks? Was he originally with the Moses Order? And, you know, praise the hidden sage who, you know, they seek knowledge, they love knowledge, and apparently, like, knowledge itself came alive. There's actually a lot of things that happen in this episode that I need to just sit with and contemplate. We learned a lot of ancient order names, a lot from the 4th epic, the 5th, and then a handful that have recently showed up within the last couple hundred years. The mention of the Pale disaster and how Azek could potentially be the cause of that moment, and how if he is an ancestor of death itself, which is insane to think about, then so would his son, and maybe the Aurora Order knows about that, and that's why they wanted his son's skull, because they needed that for bringing the true creator back onto this plane, into this world. I don't know. But there is so much going on in my head right now. That was a really good episode. I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you so much for watching with me, and thank you for being here. You guys are also intelligent and fun to engage with Lord of the Mysteries. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, can't wait for the next episode. Really looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what Klein ends up doing with those charms that he made. This also could be a way of how Azek ends up saving his life. The fact that Azek helped him in this way allowed Klein to make these charms, so maybe these charms will also in the future save his life, which is connected to Azek, who helped him achieve this in the first place. So a lot going on. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to let this all marinate and sink in. But yeah, like I said, looking forward to reading your comments. Please make sure you're subscribed over here on my channel if you're not already, and have those notifications on so that you know whenever I post a Lord of the Mysteries reaction video. Also, these videos that are edited over here on YouTube, they are fully uncut over on my Patreon. If you want to join my Patreon and see the uncut reactions to these already very long edited versions of these episodes on YouTube. And if you just want to support me as a content creator, it means so much. And yeah, I love my community. I love you guys. Take care. Have an amazing rest of your day and week. And I will see you next time. Bye.